Everyone, welcome back to another Taekook one shot. This is going to be president and vice president of schools. Thanks one shot. I hope you will have it. Thanks POV. I gone out of tiredness as I heard the bell ring, meaning it was time to go to Mr. Jian's office to further discussion about the students' council newly found event and hopeful provide the group with a large budget. As vice president, it's only right I do a good job. I ground knowing far too well that it wasn't that an easy task to pursue the man Jian Jungkook. Mr. Jian was in his early 20s and devilish handsome, pretty sure 75% of the girls and boys of his school were head over heels for him. He worked in faculty of well as a history teacher for grade 11 and 12. I remember coming home with some weird feeling after a meeting with Mr. Jian for the first time. This time I remember to be calm and focus on work only, but somewhere in my heart I know it is all happening because Mr. Jian's weird look. He keep looking at me, or more like staring at me, like all the time we are in same room. I knocked on the door of his office, waiting for a small come-in, which I got after a few seconds of knocking and stepped inside. Oh, it's you, Vice President Mr. Kim Taehyung. He greeted. Yes, good day, sir. I moved to the left seat in front of the desk. I recall scheduling a meeting with you, I said, avoiding my direct eye contact and keep my calm. Yes, must be slipped off my mind. I see you wanted to talk about the fall festival budget, Mr. Jian said. I am feeling he was staring at me as always. Yes, sir, I have a file with me containing the cost of everything, I said, handed him the file. Why not get the art club to hand make the paint these items? Mr. Jian pointed out, we have already gotten them to paint and had make all the banners for the stands and such. I don't think it is fair for us to burden the student much more, I exclaimed. But it is good for them to do more artwork, or you don't want to be more strict with your art students, Mr. Kim, he said, looking at me while I was looking at the file in my hand. I clenched my teeth. This isn't going in my favor. Half an hour passed as we went back and forth with idea. Sadly enough, I was only able to increase the budget by $50. Mr. John keeps shooting down ideas, saying they are unnecessary and waste of money. At the point, the event is going to be even more boring than Granny's Kitting Club. I was get increasingly annoyed at the point. Does he think us as robots to do so much work? I pouted, seeing as I wasn't getting anywhere. On the top of that, I have been shivering under his gaze, so which he noticed and kept up a hint of a smirk, which only made my calm face was replaced with anxious one, and again those weird feelings keep coming in my mind. My eyes went to the clock, remembering I had put volleyball practice right about now. I started remembering how much coach constantly yelling at me for not being able to attend the practice at time because of my duties as vice president. That's right, he said. as if he came to some sort of realization. Volleyball practice started in next couple minutes. He teased, I grilled my teeth and sighed, slightly nodded. Of course, he also had to practice match with me. Yes, sir. I looked down, knowing I probably wouldn't be able to do anything more for this festival budget and my students. I need to use the washroom. The restroom you can change in here until I get back, Mr. Jian told me, getting up from his chair, sir. I questioned what I had just heard. It was unbelievable. I didn't understand what he wanted from me. Did he actually say me to change here in his office while he is in his restroom? Like, really? Change into your sports clothes while I visit the restroom, Mr. Jian mentioned, closing the door. I wanted to dress up fast just in case he turned out to be specifically fast at using restroom and came back, and in just less than a second I started to get rid of my professional clothes and managed to take my pant and shirt off of me in matter of just 4 seconds. My inner were still on me. Oh, we can continue. Mr. Jian reopened the door open at my unsuccessful attempt to change in very less time. My hand came around my knee as an attempt to cover myself. The meeting later, he breathed out. How could I write off the possibility he could have came back so soon? Oh, silly. I crushed at the situation. I couldn't help but notice how he eyed me. He swiftly walked in, closing the door behind him and locking it. I started but gasped as he got a hold on my open torso. Sub, I shivered as I watched his eyes turn a bit dark as he held me. I helped, feeling his hand slide at my neck and cup my cheeks. Sub, he cut me off by cried, kiss on my neck feels good. I slipped my hands around his neck. His lips trailed up to mine. He pulled me up in his arms, lips still locked and placed me on his desk. Oh, silly, I breathed as I felt his left hand go down, hold my wrist. I was craving for it since so long. Can I do things as I like? Mr. Jian asked me with his husky voice, which felt shivering in me. I looked at him in shock. Was he saying truth? He really wanted me since so long. Hey, Taehyung, I'm waiting for your answer. If you don't want, Mr. Jian pulled me out of my thoughts. He asked me if he should stop, but I cut him in middle of his words. No, no, please continue. I want to feel this weird feeling more. It is new and exciting. I don't want to lose it, please. I literally begged him to do not stop. He had a smirk on his face and again started kissing me. He was going to next level of our love moment, but he stopped and pulled himself off, leaving me with the view of his beautiful crafted abs. He came closer and whispered in my ears, how about I increase the budget based on your performance? He dragged his hand up and down my cheeks, having me inhale sharply. Every time he got close to my face, seems like a deal, I replied. Mr. Jian smiled slightly and placed a finger on my lips. Oh, I let out a slight cry and at the contact. You are quite bold, huh? He said. I blushed at his word and not in agreement of his deal. It is going to be fun. because I have to give him full control to increase the budget, and by the look on his face I can see he will have no mercy on me. Mr. John once again I pushed me at his working desk and came closer to me. Once again I felt his lips on mine, but it was different from previous case. It was more passionate and deep. Time escaped. Mr. Jian looked a bit surprised as he pulled himself away from me and pulled him back, attempt to attach our lips again, and as I did so, he smiled and brought his lips to mine. That surprised me. Didn't we just done something naughty stuff? You did well. He praised me well, pulling me up and placing me on chair. What a pretty you are, he smiled. Don't get tired. So this cake, Mr. Jian said. We still have a long way to go. Baby boy, he said. Make me feel relaxed, he demanded, which I agreed happily. Of course, I smiled, taking a seat on his lap. Again, time escaped. I realized I rested my head, breathed heavily. We had not done yet, baby boy, he spoke, placing me up and laid me down on his desk. My turn to make you feel relaxed, he asked, smiling. Please do so. I want to remember this moment until my last breath of my life, I begged, pleased with my reply that's gonna be quite difficult for you to walk tomorrow. He clenches. Let me give you a goodbye kiss. He jogged, kneeling down, placing a kiss that quickly turned to be more deep kiss on my lips. Oh silly, I cried again. We had some fun. Vice President Mr. Kim Taehyung, he brought the case. I collect my clothes. Yes, it was fun. So I smiled, sliding my shorts up my legs halfway before I stated, I hope I made some progress with the budget. I eyed him. Yes, of course, baby boy, he smiled, doing up his belt plus a $2,000. He answered. I smiled. We would finally be able to put the event in action. See you tomorrow, Vice President, or should I say my future boyfriend? He spoke, walking away and slipping on his sweater above his head. See you as well, sir, or maybe my future hubby, I said, fixing my hair and headed out of the room, giggling at Mr. Jian's facial expression. The end. So everyone, how was it? Don't forget to tell me in the comment section. And if you have any requests or suggestion, please tell me in the comment section. I'll try to work on it. See you tomorrow. Bye.